I have no idea what I'm doing, essentially. It's just, sometimes I'll have a very strong idea, and once I start working on it, I completely forget that idea, and it goes off in an utterly different direction. Comics is about memory, because when you draw a comic strip, you're drawing more the way you remember things than the way that you see them necessarily. You're drawing memories of objects. You draw idealized versions of objects as opposed to showing them specifically the way that they are to your eyes. And every day you start out and you feel sort of a little energized or hopeful, and then to the middle of the day you get a little bit more tired until by the end of the day you're just sort of working automatically, and you can apply that to periods of work in your life too, or even a book goes through that phase, or your whole life is sort of that way. So it's just the natural progression of ideas and life itself. So. I think actually comics induce a sort of psychosis in cartoonists in a way, because you become so focused in this one thing of drawing these repeated things that when you're done, you look around you and like your friends have died or they've gotten married and had children, and you still think it's 6 years earlier when you started drawing. It's pretty insane, I think. Your time goes by so fast as a cartoonist. Like, I can't believe it's already Saturday. I feel like it's still Monday, actually. It can be very depressing, and you're constantly working, it seems like, and other people are out living their lives and having fun, and it's almost like you lose track of how to do that yourself. You forget how to enjoy yourself in a way, so. Most painting, you're trying to see what's out there, but in comics, it's such a strange blend of inspiration and craft and mechanical reproduction, and I don't know. I think there might be something with it that's damaging or something to the brain. I'm not sure, but because there is, like you're saying, there's a long history of depression in comics, so somebody should write a book about it, I guess. Maybe there's a reason for it, but maybe we should get this fly out of here. That's really depressing. It's like circling me like a corpse, or...
Largement autobiographique, l'histoire de Jimmy Corrigan, l'ouvrage majeur de Chris Ware, est celle d'un garçon abandonné par son père qui renoue avec lui à l'âge adulte, dans des circonstances de plus en plus calamiteuses. Long de 380 pages, le récit oscille entre présent et passé, réalité et fantasme, ironie et nostalgie. L'univers de Chris Ware est aussi singulier que mélancolique. Son usage de la bande dessinée d'une constante inventivité. L'un des aspects les plus remarquables de son travail est l'attention portée aux plus infimes détails. La taille des cases, la composition des pages, le jeu des couleurs, le lettrage des titres et des bulles, tout participe de la même logique. Tout est traité avec le même perfectionnisme.
When I was a kid, I spent a lot of time with my grandmother and listened to her tell stories about when she was a kid, and I I started to just want to try to understand what that was like, I think, or somewhat. And I liked spending time in her house, which felt more comfortable. And I really didn't go out of the house a whole lot. I liked to stay inside. My mom was always trying to get me to go outside and play, and I would sometimes, but mostly I just preferred to stay inside. I remember one day my grandmother actually took me outside and she tried to get me to play catch with her with a ball. She said, okay, now we've got to do something. You need to get some exercise. And I couldn't even throw the ball properly, and after about 2 or 3 times she just gave up on me and said, okay, just go back inside and draw. So. For the most part, I just prefer things from the earlier days, I guess, of America, when it didn't seem like everything was, heading downwards. They seem better made, they're better designed, they have more respect for the people around them. They seem to have more of a sense of what life is about. This one's got a bad scratch at the beginning of it. Good rag. This has a scratches at the beginning. We've almost completely lost a sense of what it's like to be in a place that's at least tries to be a little human and warm, and maybe it's returning a little bit, I don't know, but I don't even know if it's nostalgia, because I wasn't alive in 1890. I don't know what it was like, so I can't be nostalgic for it. I just prefer things from that era more than I prefer things now.
Chris Ware n'est pas seulement l'auteur de Jimmy Corrigan. Depuis une douzaine d'années, il développe parallèlement, et dans des formats sans cesse changeants, les aventures de Rocket Sam, Big Tex et Quimby the Mouse.
I think different size books and different size paper are better for a different kind of strip, and I drew them at different sizes, and plus it doesn't get as boring that way. I really just don't like the size of a regular comic book. I wasn't trying to sell them necessarily either. I just wanted to make them different sizes because I liked them better that way. I never expected to be able to make a living doing any of this stuff at all. Everything that's happened is a complete surprise to me. Well, as far as being meticulous, I don't do it to try to impress anybody or do anything. I want it to feel as rich as possible, as a real experience would out in the world, where you'd look at a leaf and see how incredibly detailed and what actually is the structure of the world itself, which is impossible to almost understand, and I try to reflect that, I guess, in what I do. And to me, a comic is almost like the ultimate act of egotism. Every single line, every single word is the hand of the artist. Why do I have to put my name all over it to even drive that point home? It's flagrant enough an expression of desperately wanting to be liked that it seemed redundant to put my name anywhere on it. It was just offensive, basically. So I still feel that way, but in a book you sort of have to put your name at least on the spine a little bit. So.